everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Casey and I'm an Amazon seller. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years now, and I have created this YouTube channel to help people learn about how to sell on Amazon because it has changed my life and I know it can change yours as well. So I hope everybody had a great weekend and is having a great start to their week. I actually had a pretty good weekend. So a little something that y'all don't know about me is I used to race 4-wheelers, and here's a picture of me right here when I used to race. And my dad used to race, and here's a picture of me and him while waiting to go on the track. So anyway, whenever he had the stroke, we were still going to races. He would usually have some guys that we know ride his bikes, and we were going to put Colby in it, my little boy. Well, he had the stroke, and we haven't been back to a race since the stroke. So this weekend we went to our first race since he had the stroke, and he loved it so much. It even brought back some memories for me because I haven't even been since he had the stroke. And I'm going to show y'all a clip real quick of us driving around the track on a golf cart. So he was able to get on the golf cart, and then his first time back around the track since the stroke. A lot of fun, but my little boy was like, I want to ride. I'm like, we don't have a 4-wheeler. My dad still has his 4-wheeler, but we were never able to get my little boy a 4-wheeler, so maybe look into that eventually. I'm not sure. I kind of was thinking about getting him in like t-ball or football, like flag football, so not 100% sure what I want to get him into yet, but going to be looking at some stuff coming up soon. And I mean, maybe racing. Racing is very expensive though. Like, let me tell y'all, these 4-wheelers, they're like racing 4-wheelers. They're not like the kind that you ride around in the backyard. And you actually can't ride these around in the backyard, at least not for long, because the motors are so sensitive. But they cost like $10,000 and up, so they're very expensive. 4-wheelers is a very expensive sport. But my dad grew up doing it, and then I just kind of got into it too. And it was just like a family thing because you would go as a family and it would be an all Saturday thing. Sometimes if you went far off, it would be like a Friday and Saturday thing. So it was just a lot of fun, and you say you also have a racing family because you're so used to spending time with these people through the racing season, because it pretty much goes from March till October, so it's a very long season too. So that was just a little bit about my weekend. So now let's get into Amazon. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the top questions that new sellers ask. Since I am doing these one-on-one calls and a lot of them are new sellers doing them, I have been getting a lot of the same questions. So I figured just to do a video about them and go over these questions so that everybody could see. So first off, before we get into the video today, remember, I usually do the winner for a 30-minute one-on-one call. That will be announced sometime in this video today. But this week, I will not be doing it for next week because next week I'm actually going on a trip to the beach, and I will not be doing a YouTube video next week. So I'm going to do 2 videos this week and no video next week because I'm going to be out of town. But then it will start back up the week after. So we will get that going again where you can win the 30-minute one-on-one call. So the first question I get asked a lot is, how long does it take to find profitable items? What does ungated mean? Why am I showing restricted on almost everything? And what can I sell because I'm showing restricted on almost everything? So let's get into that real quick. So as a new seller on Amazon, there are categories that Amazon just does not allow new sellers to sell in. For instance, grocery, which is a big one I do if any of y'all follow me. So you can always hit request approval, which looks like this, because it's going to say requires approval. Sometimes it will auto ungate you, usually not in the categories though until you are a lot farther along. So if you want to get ungated, you have to get ungated in that category, and then sometimes you got to be ungated in that brand. So for example, you have to be ungated in the category grocery, and then you might have to go and get ungated in the brand planters. So just because you're ungated in that category does not mean that you will be ungated in that certain brand. Now, the older your account is, the more sales you do, you will start getting auto ungated in that stuff. For example, I was ungated in toys up until this past year. I could sell toys, but I was gated in Barbie, Lego, Melissa and Doug. And then one day after Christmas, I just woke up and I scanned a Lego item and it was like, voila, like I could list it now. But that took 2 years. I got ungated in the category. I didn't go and get ungated in the brand because I was doing so much grocery. I just wasn't really focused on all them toys because toys are just real big in Q4. So now I'm like, oh, I should have been doing that a long time ago in Q4 with all these toys. So this will actually be the first year coming up that I'm ungated in Lego and Barbie, which I cannot wait to see how this does for Christmas. So I'm pretty excited about that. But if you are a big toy person, then you have to go get ungated in that category toy and then get ungated in the brands that you want to sell. So as a new seller, with you being gated in almost everything, then how long does it actually take you to find a profitable item? Well, it's going to be a lot harder. I'm going to be straight honest with you because really the main category new sellers selling is like kitchen. You can do books. Books is another big one. But it's going to take a minute. I would suggest for all new sellers who are starting out, who are not ungated and stuff, go to any kind of clearance aisle, Walmart especially, and scan that whole aisle. And you will find a lot of random stuff that you can sell, which is weird, but you find like a lot of random, like, I wouldn't say novelty items. I would just say like just random items and just scan them. And you'd be like, oh, this is actually selling on Amazon and I can make a profit. It's going to take a minute to find that stuff. That is why I do suggest to at least get ungated in grocery and topicals whenever you start out. I think I got ungated within a month or two. I started in like that. It was like a month or two, I think I got ungated. And it just changed my Amazon life tremendously. I mean, you put that investment in it, but it really makes up for it. So, like I said, as a new seller, books, kitchen, that's why I was doing those crock pots a lot. I did a lot of books too. I would go to like Ollie's and scan all the books, and you can find a lot of books that way. So that's a suggestion too. If you're new, go to Ollie's, scan the books. Ollie's is really good for new sellers too, because I would go to Ollie's, scan the books, and then I would go over to the crock pots. That was where I found all those crock pots at. And I would just scan all that kitchen stuff down through Ollie's because, you know, they got a bunch of kitchen stuff there. So any kind of kitchen stuff is good for new sellers. But this is a question I get asked a lot because they're like, what can I sell? So let me tell you though, when you get ungated, you can sell almost everything. Yes, you have to watch out for IP complaints, but watch my IP complaint video. And in that video, you can use tips to keep from getting those IP complaints. But if you want to go sell the Hershey Nuggets or you want to go sell Reese's Cups, you can sell any of that stuff once you get ungated in grocery. I mean, people are buying everyday stuff because they want the convenience of not having to go to the store and just being able to order off Amazon. So, as always, if you want to get ungated, I have my ungated guides. I try to put them at a reasonable price. And also, it includes toys, topicals, grocery, and I even explain what you need for OTC in there. OTC is medicines. That's another big one. I was doing a Bayer aspirin a lot a couple of months ago. So, that's another hot item to sell is medication. Also, children's Tylenol was getting hard to find, so I was selling a lot of that too a couple months ago. So if you are interested, please check out that guide because it will just open so many doors for y'all. And I explain step by step on a video of how to get ungated, and I explain the categories. The brands is just going to be the same layout. You just got to find a item that matches. Find this brand on Amazon, find a listing you want to use, and then find that item, that brand on the website that I give you. So it's the same concept. It's just, it's going to be brands and it's going to be categories. Do the category first, then start doing the brands. I know a lot of people just start doing brands. I suggest just go ahead and get yourself ungated in that category and then start doing each individual brand that you want to get ungated in. So as always, here's the guide. You can check it out on my website. The website will be linked in the description in this video if y'all are interested. Alright, so the next thing that I get asked a lot is, should I use a credit card and how much does it cost to get started? So first off, let me say, if you are not disciplined, don't even think about a credit card because this business could get you in trouble with a credit card. And honestly, I mean, you can use a credit card to get you started. I still just believe the old-fashioned way where if you don't got it, then you don't need it. So, and my boyfriend right now, he's on that whole Dave Ramsey kick. I don't know if y'all have heard of him, but he is completely against any kind of credit. I mean, car loans, everything. So now my boyfriend's like, I don't even want to have a car loan anymore. So I've been dealing with that right now. But I agree with credit cards. I mean, they can get you in trouble, especially if you're not disciplined. But they can also be a good thing too because you got these credit cards that you can rack up points on. So like a gas card example. But in this business, you're buying so much that you could get a lot of cash back. So could be an idea for that. It's really just your preference. I mean, if you are disciplined and you just want to use it to get points, then go for it and pay it off. Please do not rack up a bill on it. If you are not disciplined and you know you are not good at paying stuff, like me, for example, I will admit I'm not the best at paying stuff. I mean, I got the money, I just forget to pay the bills. I don't know what it is. But that's why I leave it to my boyfriend to pay the stuff. So, if you are not good with paying your bills, then I would not suggest it. I would say if you don't got the money, then don't get it. So, again, that is completely up to you. How much does it cost to get started? It's up to you also. I would say at least $500. But the more you put into it, the faster you're going to grow. So I will tell y'all at the beginning, y'all are going to feel like, why am I doing this? There is no money in it because Amazon holds your money. Amazon holds your money for 14 days after the customer receives the order. They do that because of return reasons, A to Z claim reasons. So it's going to feel like you are doing this for no reason. And a lot of people quit for that reason. But that's why I am telling y'all this, because I'm trying to tell y'all don't quit because of that reason. At the beginning, you're going to feel like you're making no money. And a lot of times at the beginning, you're going to lose money because you don't know what you're doing. It's all a process and a learning curve. So that is why people like me are here to help y'all with it, so that you don't get frustrated and quit. But when it comes to putting money into it, it's up to you. But the more money you put into it, the faster you will grow. Okay, so another question I get asked a lot is, where do I get my shipping supplies from? So my poly mailers I get right here from Amazon. It's just these little thin poly mailers. Now, you can only ship certain stuff in this because it can get damaged in this. But on here, they also have the padded envelopes. You just have to look for them, but they are a little bit more expensive. So if you are trying to ship really cheap and it's something that's not going to get damaged, these are perfect. So you can get a 500 count of 9x12 for $25.99. I mean, these are perfect for that, but you just got to be careful with what you put in those. So if you want to get your labels from here, I do my 5x7 thermal labels. Also, I get in like big bulks from here because of how much I print. So this is 500. I usually do way more than 500. I mean, even more than 2,500. But see, like there's a 2,500. You have to be careful though with these labels, because sometimes the labels that I get from here, I don't know if the company's just cheap or whatever it is, but sometimes my labels get like stuck and everything in my printer. So usually when I find a good person to order labels from, I keep ordering from that company. Like this one right here, they're pretty good. I've ordered labels from there and have usually not had any issues. So my boxes, of course, Uline. You can go to, they have poly bags also, FYI. And you can get almost everything from here. Like bubble wrap, you can buy big things of bubble wrap from here. Even these little bubble bags, these are awesome because you can put the item in there and then peel off that little self-seal. Or they even got like these little Ziploc ones right here. And then they just have the basic ones that are just open end. But those are real good and real easy to use. And you can get like a whole box of them. And of course, just the bubble wrap in general. Also on this website, they have the envelopes and mailers. You can get the padded envelopes from here too. So you can get foam, you can get the cardboard stuff to package in, you can get labels that are fragile, stretch wrap. I mean, they have everything. Here's the boxes you can get. They have over 1,700 sizes and boxes. I mean, look at all these. And you buy them in bulk. Now, your shipping can be expensive. Like, my shipping on this the other day was $80. But it's next day, so you get it next day. I think you got to order it before 6 o'clock. And then it is also cheaper, 23 cents for a box, which, of course, that is a small box. But if you try to find that box somewhere else, it's going to be a lot more expensive. So, if you are using a lot of boxes, use Uline. And for people who always ask me, I have a separate building that I keep all my boxes in. So I know some people don't have that luxury, so you just have to adjust and do what works for you. Another place to get free shipping supplies is, of course, USPS. But if you are going to use this, you have to ship priority. So if I am going to use this flat rate envelope right here, flat rate envelope, I have to ship USPS flat rate envelope. So, along with the bubble one, padded flat rate envelope. This medium flat rate box, if I want to use this flat rate box, I have to use medium flat rate box when purchasing my shipping label. They have just basic mailing boxes like this one. you can use, and it's just basic priority. So there's no flat rate. It's a basic priority. You have to ship priority, but you can just ship priority. You don't have to ship no priority flat rate. So a lot of people get confused on that. All right, the next thing I get asked a lot about is how do I deal with price tankers? So everybody has to deal with this, and it's just common for Amazon, and it's easier dealing with it when you're merchant field versus when you're FBA, because you have to wait for Amazon to check it in, and then by then the price might tank. So here's what I do. There's some sellers that are always going a cent below you, a cent below you. Every time you go and check your inventory, they're always a cent below you trying to sell the item, and a lot of times that happens on the listings that it doesn't have the buy box. It just says see other options, because they want to be that first person that is suggested. But that isn't what customers always go to. Customers are going to go based off your shipping times, based off your customer reviews. They're not just going to look at the price. Yes, it's good to be the first one up there, but it isn't always necessary. So if I notice that I'm still making sales even though I quit trying to be in battle with that person always going a cent below me, then I'll just leave it, and then finally it will stop. More than likely, they probably have a repricer if that is happening. You can get a repricer. Me personally, I have always just repriced mine manually. I tried to get a repricer one time, and they were like, we're not going to tell you the price right now. We'll wait until you try it out first. I was like, I was like, if y'all ain't telling me the price right now, there's a reason why. So I just didn't even go forward with it, and I still make plenty of sales repricing on my own. If it takes big time because there's a whole bunch of sellers on that listing, then if it's a couple things, I will just reprice to sell, meaning just reprice along with them just to try to get the product out. If it is a whole bunch of stuff, but I check Keepa and it looks like the price might go back up, I will hold off. It's definitely case by case. I can't never say a definite answer for this, but I would say check Keepa, see what the history is, see if it looks like it's going to go back up. Are you going to have to pay for storage fees if you send it in FBA? If that is so, you might just want to price to sell to get it out. Take that hit on it. So it is just case by case. I personally do not like constantly being in a price war with somebody. I'll just finally be like, you take it. There's plenty of other items on here I can sell on Amazon. But you can still, especially on those items that are see other options, you can still sell plenty of stuff and not be the cheapest thing out there. The buy box is not always the cheapest person out there. It's a mixture of everything. It is how advanced your account is, how many sales you have, how many customer reviews do you have, are they good or not, your shipping times. It's a whole bunch of stuff, just not the pricing. Also, FBA has a better opportunity to win the buy box, so sometimes you can be priced $3 to $5 above a merchant field seller and still win the buy box as FBA. So it is not always the cheapest person out there. Just keep that in mind when pricing your items. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about is customer messages. As a merchant field seller, you do get a lot of customer messages, so don't be alarmed. I get plenty myself. And it's all different stuff. It's, I didn't receive the package in time. The package description isn't what it says it is. This was messed up on it. I want to return because I just don't want it anymore. You get tons of messages. Trust me, it happens. You have 24 hours to message the customer back. It's not like it hits anything on your account, but it is good to message them back because you need to handle it with the customer before they go and file an A to Z claim. Because too many A to Z claims and that will shut your account down. So just make sure you are trying to answer your customer messages within 24 hours. I always say, you know, there comes a point in time where the customer's always right. I worked in customer service, and some of these customers are crazy on Amazon, but you just have to think, okay, I cannot take another hit for an A to Z, so let me just go ahead and take the hit on the loss with the profit, and that'll be it, and I'll refund them. So you just kind of got to manage it and play it case by case with this also. Like, for example, too, you can offer them to return the item if it's not returnable. So some stuff is not returnable on Amazon, but you can still offer the customer a return. You can send a return label, print it off of Click and Ship, off of USPS, and send it to the customer over the messages for them to print off and send to you, and then you refund them whenever you receive the product back. So just because the item is not returnable, you do still have that option to offer that to the seller. Amazon wants you to give the seller whatever they want, basically. So my suggestion is you either offer them the return, send them the Click and Ship, or you just go ahead and refund them. Some cases I do just go ahead and refund them. You can also offer a partial refund. So if they're saying, hey, they're missing something or only one of the items are damaged, you can offer them a partial refund. Just keep that in mind too. So there's a whole lot of ways you can go with handling customer messages. Just make sure you handle them, because trust me, if the customer is not satisfied, they will file a to Z claim, and too many A to Z claims will shut you down. Alright, so like I promised y'all, I will let you know who wins my 30-minute call this week. So the winner this week is Mo Guzman. So, Mo Guzman, if you are watching this video, email me. My email is in the description in this video, and we will set up a time to do your 30-minute call. Remember, again, next week, I will not be doing any videos because I will be out of town, so I will not be doing the 30-minute mentorship call, but I will start it back when I get back the week after. So guys, if you need a little bit more help on how to sell on Amazon, I have my 60-minute mentorship calls that you can check out on my website. Also, I have the 24-hour mentorship, which includes one of those calls for the month to go over your progress and, you know, kind of a game plan of what's going on with you. It includes the Facebook group, and also you can message me 24/7, and if it is something that I can't answer over your messages, I will give you a call. So that is in the description in this video. You can check that out. Also, I have the Facebook group. You get the first month free. So go ahead and check that out in the description. Also, if you want to learn how to sell on Amazon, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I upload videos weekly about how to sell on Amazon. If you enjoyed this video today, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps us out. And if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comments below, and I will get back to them as soon as I can. So guys, until next time, bye!